In this video tutorial, we are going to show you how to configure hotspots. From our previous video, we configured our MikroTik 951 manually, so that our bridge 1, that's where the DCP server will be running. We want to create hotspots, and we'll create another bridge and add port, for example the wireless port, and port number 4, so that the hotspot will be running on those ports. So what we'll do is we'll create a bridge. We'll create a bridge, let's say bridge to our hotspot. Then we add the ports that you want. We can add port number 4, so you need port number 4, and the wireless interface port, that is WLAN 1. So I'll add WLAN 1 to bridge hotspots. Before you add it, you have to remove it because we add it to bridge 1. So you remove it, you remove that port, and we'll remove port number 4, then add them to bridge 2. I add to hotspot bridge, then I add also port number 4 to hotspot bridge. So we have our ports. So number 4 and the wireless interface, that's where our hotspot will be running. So what we need is you go to the addresses, then you create a pool address list for the hotspot. So hotspot will be using IP number 57, that range 192.168.57.1/24. So we are running that on the hotspot bridge. Click apply. Okay, then we go to the IP hotspot, then you'll click on, under servers you click on hotspot setup. So we select the interface, the hotspot interface, which is our interface hotspot, the one we created. Then under that, because we added the IP to address list, so we'll be able to select the IP addresses from there. Then just click next. Under certificate none, we are not using any certificates for authentication. IP addresses MP server 0, nothing. Then the DNS name, this is the name that will appear once you connect to the hotspot on your browser. So let's call it tech.net. I'll have it in caps, tech.net. Then next. So by default, when you create a hotspot, there is that user that MikroTik will create for you for the hotspot. It's admin, and it doesn't actually have a password, so you can add a password. Let's say, let me have a password as 123 for the admin user. Click next. Okay, we are done with the configuration of the hotspot. So if you go to the profiles, you can create profiles. We have the default profile. By default, it is assigned 4 Mbps, but we can create our own profile. Let's say for our hotspot we'll assign 2 Mbps. That's a single profile that we'll create. Then under address pool, that's the pool that it will be picking the IP and assigning the users. We choose the hotspot pool, then you click OK. There's also one thing: if you want your hotspot, your users to be authenticated, once they disconnect, they can be authenticated using the cookies, or reconnect using the cookies, so that with cookies, that is, it remembers, the browser will remember your browsing history. So with cookies, it will enable your user to access your MikroTik once they disconnect. So we can uncheck that, so that every time they are out of range of your hotspot, they love to enter their username and password. Or you can just check add mark cookie so that they can just connect automatically. For now, we'll disconnect these and check that box. Then you can also assign the uptime if you want to, but we'll just leave that for now. So click OK, apply, OK. Then users, we need to create a user. Let's say test user. So our test user, under general, we have servers. You select the Hotspot server. Then user, we can call our user test. Password, we can have it as 123. Profile, the profile that we created, 2 Mbps. Limit, if you want to limit the uptime, for example 1 day, so you can just click here and type 1D, then space small d, that means 1 day. So after a day, if they are continuously connected for a day, they will disconnect, or the hotspot will disconnect them once they are connected for a day. Okay, you click OK, apply. So we have our test, test should be written it as test. Okay, let me apply. Okay, then we have the server profile. Okay, with these we want to confirm everything. So we have our users, our user, which is test user, and the profile, which is 2 Mbps. Now I'll switch, because I'm using Ethernet, I'll switch to port number 4, which you configured to run the hotspot, and see what happens to the computer. There should be a pop-up. I will be redirected. As you can see, I'm redirected to the login page, the MikroTik hotspot login page. Because we created our user, we have our user test caps. Okay, we need to log in and see if we are connected. Then 1 2 3 as password. So as you can see, we are connected now. We can access internet. Go to YouTube. Yeah, we are connected. I think we should search our channels. Man Josh Tech. Yes, we can access YouTube. We are using a
welcome
and
to my YouTube
we are
channel.
connected using
Today I want to show you how to configure
so that is
Huawei GPON router. I want to configure to such a way that.
So in the next tutorial, we will show you how to create PPPoE and run it on the hotspot interface. So port number 4 and the wireless or WLAN 1 interface. So feel free to subscribe to our channels, like our videos, leave comments, and you can also give us suggestions on what you need us to do, or what we can configure, or what we have done wrong.